Hi, I'm Marcia Nelson. I am going to talk today about how to assist your child in receiving special education services should they be eligible for them. It's quite a process, but what's important here is your child and you guiding your child's education and his services, her services. First, a little bit about myself. I have been a school psychologist, bilingual Spanish speaking, in California for 28 years, and I served everything from birth through high school, and then I worked briefly in the community college system with those who had learning disabilities. Next, I came back to Florida and worked in Escambia County School District, Pensacola, Florida. 7 years as a diagnostician with pre-K students, excuse me, and 2 years as a behavioral specialist with Title I for those children who have behavioral challenging difficulties, behaviors. So, basically I'll start with the law, and the law is that if you suspect that your child has needs that may need resources and services given in the school system, you have that right to ask for them. And this is twofold important. You guide your child's education, and the earlier we know about the difficulties that your child may be experiencing, the better the outcome for the child, in schools especially. So there are other countries that you would go through the Ministry of Health, but in the United States we go through our school systems for any services that our child might have or have rights to have. You will be invited when you say to the school personnel, staff, principal, teacher, preschool teacher, or call to their number of the school district and say, I think my child may need extra services because he's lagging behind with motor skills, with speech skills, with hearing, with vision, any of it. There are things that you can just say, and in our schools, many first teams that see your child are called Child Find. So you could call the school system and say, I want to know if we have a Child Find team, and may I have that number, or you will call your school or go into your local school and say, I think my child may need some extra services. I want him assessed. So you get in touch with them, and then you want to know that all those testings and screenings and assessments are free to you. We definitely have all free assessments from birth to 5 years of age, and we want to know those children who need the services early so that we can give them more, and then the outcome for the child is much better. Now, I've done this a long time, so I hope I'm not missing things that I need to say. You may have been sitting in a park over and over with other parents and see that their child of the same age is doing things that your child doesn't seem to be able to do. Or a physician might have said, you know, I think some development here is lagging, or it's lacking, and I want you to contact your school. Or it may be a friend that says something about, you know, I can't understand what your child's saying to me, and you know that they're of the age that you certainly understand more because you're the guiding parent, but they don't understand and they are a little concerned. But whatever the concerns, you might finally have that happen for yourself, that you think, maybe I should look into this. So you have to be ready once they have an appointment set up for you to bring in your child. For an hour and a half or 2 hours, they'll have some screening done. They'll check vision, they'll check hearing, they'll check for motor movement, they'll check for balance and hopping and many kinds of skills, and they'll check on if your child follows any directions. So that's of a certain age, but whatever, even if they're not yet one-year-old, you will be able to have them seen. All right, at the end of screenings, they'll say if they think that there should be a more full diagnostic assessment. And that's when they'll meet with more professionals from the school district, the speech therapist, an occupational therapist, a psychologist, whomever. And then you want to also, if they're in school already, be in touch with the teacher of your child and make sure that y'all are on the same page of what's happening when. And then there will be a meeting following both the screening meeting, and then there'll be a meeting after the full assessment. And all those people will gather around the table, and you go to that meeting knowing that you guide your child and you make decisions and you have your questions answered at that meeting. It's very important that you know you're the most important part of that meeting. The areas that we assess in are many, and I'm going to, in video 2, talk briefly about that, and then by the end of video 2 I will have a certain format for you to be able to contact me if you want to. And so I'm going to bring this up here so you know what videos 2 through 6 are. Number 2 will be the developmental skills that we expect, 0 to 6 months, 6 months to 1 year, 1 year to 2 years, 2 years to 3, 3 to 4, and then finally 5. The third basic video will be on communication, and we'll talk about receptive and expressive, how children understand, how they speak and process language. Then the next one will be on motor skills, and the 5th video will be on self-help skills, what a child can do for themselves in the home and in school or at child care. And then the last one will be on behavioral and social skills that you might be concerned about. We're looking at hitting, kicking, biting, screaming, being aloof from other people, not tuning in socially, all kinds of things. Or a child might be defiant, or they might be just totally active, as if they're on a little motor running. So please know that we will cover all these things, and I'll have a contact listed for you at the end of video 2. So I hope this has been a little bit helpful. My name is Marcia Nelson. This is on referring your child into possible special education services. Thank you. I appreciate it.